Hey everybody, welcome back to another LEGO City update. Today we're going to continue working on the MILS integration of the A-frame cabin. So just the other day we built these two massive 48 by 48 plates. They look pretty good. It's not bad, but I think there's some improvements that have to be made. I only spent one day building this, so I think it needs another day just to increase the amount of detail and just make it look a little bit better. For example, the blending on the pond and also the blending on the creek isn't the best, and I think I just gotta pretty much destroy a little bit of that plate there to rebuild it in a better way. So this creek is a little bit different than the one in the campground because the back plate here is actually 3 bricks tall and the foreground is actually 2 bricks tall. Therefore, it's harder to blend in the bank and you need more space. So I made the mistake of making it 6 wide, the black plate underneath. I need to take all of this off and make it 8 wide so I have the additional stud to help blend in that area. And then the pond, pretty much the same thing. Luckily, that's going to be easier. I just have to remove the detail, pop off some of the tiles going around the edge, and then I'll be able to blend it in because we'll have more space to do that. Having the width increased by 2 studs is going to make a huge difference. I'm also doing it a little bit differently this time. First thing I'm doing is just going around and adding all the slopes that are going to help blend in the edge of the creek. Also, I just think I'm taking a little bit more time. It's the second time around. It's going to look a lot better. Last time I was building it, it was a Sunday. I was a bit rushed. I had family coming over. Maybe I shouldn't have rushed it, but yeah, at least I'm rebuilding it now, and I think it's going to look way, 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 way better. Oh yeah, and before adding the layer of slopes, I actually added a layer of bricks in the different shades of green, and that gave me another height to work off of, so definitely a lot easier with that extra space. After adding water, I've left some studs open on the side of the creek, and those are going to be perfect for flora. There we go, that's a huge improvement, and I'm sure once we place this back in the campground, there'll be more that we can add, but now I'm going to rip apart this and give it a swift upgrade. I've done half the pond, so there's after, and there's before. You know, way more part intensive. There's also more color because there's more of the dark tan and light and dark gray mixed in there as well. So yeah, I'm really pleased with the outcome of that upgrade for sure. After finishing the edges, I decided to add some greenery to the interior of the pond. I found these in the Queer Eye set, and then these came from the pad wall. If I had some lily pads, I would use those, but unfortunately I do not. Definitely a nice upgrade, worth the time. Actually didn't take that long at all, to tell you the truth. Some people have been suggesting that I connect the creek with the pond. I'm not sure how that would look. I don't know if I want to test that out or not. I sort of wanted to keep the 2 water features separate from one another. Here's the new and improved plate placed in the campground in front of the A-frame. Now that we've got that taken care of, it's time to blend in the surrounding area, because there's a bunch of exposed bricks there and just some tapering and blending that has to happen back here as well. So there's an easy way to do this and there's a hard way to do it. I've selected to do it the hard way just because it's going to conserve green bricks and green plate. What I could do is just grab a bunch of green bricks and a bunch of green plates and lay it on top of the other green plates that were embedded in the MILS plate and then taper it off slowly, right? But what I'm going to do is remove everything like I have there. I'm going to bring these bricks up so they're the same height as this plate and this plate back here. And then I'm going to build MILS on top of that, and then I'll taper it off from there. Rather than like building it out with green bricks, like using a plethora of 2x green bricks and building it out, it's probably just easier to bring my MILS plate for these certain areas up to the same height as the elevated plate. If I want to give it that unique shape, I just think that's the most logical way to do it. And it's going to help me save parts in the end anyway. With the MILS plates topped, that's pretty much the basic shape there. Now I've just got to blend it in using all sorts of plates and slopes, just like we did with the creek and the pond. Now something I want to do with the trails is replace the plates with like tan, similar to the Ninjago one here. So what I could do is replace these plates here to tan and then blend it in with more green elements, and that will make the trails a different color and make it more realistic. And I should do that all throughout. For example, here there's no trail. There's an easy way of doing it and there's a hard way of doing it. The easy way is just to put pieces on top of the green. For example, I could take some tan plate and studs and tiles and put it on top and call it a trail. Or I could actually build it into the MILS plate, similar to the gravel road. This is more realistic, but way more difficult and way more part intensive. Just because to get everything aligned perfectly underneath there is really difficult, and I've just knocked over everything when I'm in here, don't I? But yeah, just getting it all aligned perfectly when integrating it into the MILS is difficult and not nearly as easy as just throwing down some parts on top of the plates like most Lego sets do actually. I'm also going to fix up the sidewalk right here because this integration isn't working properly, because you can see those bricks there. And it's the same thing over here as well. Like when you really look, you'll see the MILS plate bricks underneath the Ninjago mountain, which sort of sucks, because redoing that would be difficult. Let's just not look over there. Let's just look from this angle and pretend those aren't even there. How's that sound? Okay. That's our little secret right there, okay? Keep it to yourselves. With blending, just the more pieces you throw at it, the better, right? Like I could sit here and throw another 1,000 pieces at this and it would look crazy. I could have it all like this, you know? Every single piece of it. But there's going to be some studs exposed there because we're going to go around and we're going to add trees and everything. Remember, I extracted all of the trees out of the campground here not too long ago, like the bigger ones. And I want to upgrade the trees when we reintegrate them into the campground, and also all of the bushes. I mean, I'm probably still going to use things like this, but I want to try and create some more custom ones and some maybe new designs, or some of the existing designs, like some of the ones that you see in the zoo here, and really spruce this area up. That's pretty good though. Look at that. The A-frame MILS plates are pretty nicely integrated. I think the next thing I want to add to this area is a picnic table. I actually went over to my parts to custom build one with some inverted slopes like I've done in the past. Oh, there's one right here. Could build one like that. But then what is that? That's just a brick. That's not even inverted slopes. So you can build them with inverted slopes too. But yeah, then I spotted this. I was like, oh, what is that even from? I don't even know where that's from, but it was in my graveyard. So there you go. Picnic table acquired. It might be too large for the space though. Like, where's that going to go? You know, where am I going to put that? I don't know. It might have to be shrunk down, or I could put it over here, I guess, somewhere. Random picnic table over by the pond. So that sort of works, like right there or something. I haven't added any texture to this area because this is probably going to go here. So I'll have to work on customizing that and integrating it properly. I installed the bridge at a nice angle. Now, I did get some comments saying that the bridge isn't necessary because there is a bridge over there and also a bridge over here. But I wanted the A-frame cabin to have its own bridge, and I think it really doesn't take away from the scene at all. Also, I integrated the trail leading up to the A-frame there. Like I was mentioning, I wanted to work it into the MILS plate, so that's what I did. All I did was replace the 4x4 green plate with reddish brown, and then I used these angle wedge plates to frame it. I'm running very low on those. I'll have to order some more. Where's my bin here? Right here. So this is all I have left. But I would love to do more of that style of stuff pretty much everywhere here in the campground. You can see that's how I did my gravel road as well. It's just a matter of ordering more of those pieces there so that I can continue that same sort of theme. Now, something else I could do to the trail to make it look even better is reduce the amount of studs by adding quarter round tiles of various colors. Might look pretty good. Probably have to do that one day. And just adding miscellaneous pieces like 1x2 plates or ingots or 1x1 studs, 2x2 circular tiles, whatever it may be, might make that look better. I don't know. What do you think? Change up the color a bit, reduce some of the reddish brown, and reduce some of the studs. That might look pretty cool as well. Now, this is actually built differently than the gravel road. The gravel road is actually a plate lower. So it doesn't have underlying brick like this here. Rather, it actually has two stacks of plate, one being a black layer and then the brown layer on top. And that's why this grass here, which is those angle plates once again, comes just perfectly over top. Whereas over here is sort of a cheating way, because now these plates that go over top of the trail are actually one plate higher than the top plate on the MILS plate. Does that sort of make sense? I think it's easier to build this way, requires less parts, and it's just way less technical and faster to build as well. I could technically do it like this, but it's way more permanent. This is so easy to change. Whereas this, and actually the creek as well, is really difficult to change because it's like embedded in the plate. Whereas this is just the top layer of the plate. So if I really wanted to, I could extract this, no problem. Just pop it out, pop it out, pop it out, and switch it up. Whereas this, it's like you got to destroy the whole thing to redo the work, just like we did with this creek earlier. I built this super quickly here. It's on a 4x10 plate, and that's going to fill that in. I just used the Technic connector, and it should just fill in like that there. And then when it's placed, I've knocked that over so many times, but when it's placed, I should be able to blend it in nicely there. Gosh darn sign, I keep knocking it over. That's hilarious. Good thing this guy is here to quickly repair it every time. Honestly, though, I'm not a huge fan of this picnic table, so that's going to have to go. Oh, it doesn't want to leave, though, does it? There's my part selection, and I've actually been using the advent calendar tray to sort some of the smaller miscellaneous pieces. It's better than having them scattered all over the road like they've been in this video. A lot better, actually. Now, it is my wife's birthday, and although very cute, the babies are giving Jose a really rough time today. Not good at all. I am sorry to introduce you to Angry Millie there. It is something else. Oh my gosh. I've got to go help Jose with that. It's crazy. And hopefully, you know, celebrate her birthday with her a little bit there. But we still managed to get a ton done today. Rebuilt the creek and the pond. Integrated everything. Integrated this. And put a nice trail leading up to the A-frame cabin with that nice arched bridge there. It's looking pretty awesome. I can't wait to add trees and more flora to this area. That's going to bring it all together. Right now it looks pretty boring, but when you get more trees everywhere and maybe a new picnic bench and some other stories and some more animals as well, it's going to look a lot better. But that's all the time I have today. I hope you enjoyed this update. Remember, like, subscribe, and stay tuned, and thank you so much for coming on by. Farewell.